From shadows to sunrise, the story of Daniel Reyes. Daniel was born and raised in the shadows of the Empire State Building. His father was the famous architect who designed it. But despite his father's fame, Daniel's life was anything but easy. He struggled with poverty, addiction, and homelessness. But through it all, he never lost hope. As a kid, he would always look up at the building his father had designed and dreamed of a better life. He knew that one day he would make it out of the shadows and into the sunlight. And he did. After years of hard work and determination, Daniel became a successful businessman. He used his platform to help others who were struggling to make it out of the shadows. He started a foundation to provide housing for the homeless, and he also became an advocate for mental health awareness. Daniel's story is an example to us all that no matter how dark things may seem, there is always hope for a brighter tomorrow. If we can stay positive and keep moving forward, we can achieve our dreams. This is Daniel's story, from shadows to sunrise. Daniel Reyes was born into a life many people would never understand. His earliest memories weren't of playgrounds or birthday parties, but of the soft hum of streetlights flickering outside the small one-bedroom apartment he shared with his mother and younger sister in the poorest district of Greenville. His father had walked out when Daniel was just 5, leaving his mother to work 2 jobs as a cleaner and a diner waitress to make ends meet. Money was always tight. Shoes were handed down, lunches were whatever they could scrape together, and every winter brought with it the question of whether the heat would stay on. But what they lacked in money, they made up for in love and quiet resilience. Daniel's mother, though exhausted most days, made sure he never missed school. "Education is your way out," she'd tell him every night. At 10, Daniel got his first job delivering newspapers. He was small, the bike too big, and the mornings too cold, but he never complained. He saved every dollar, buying secondhand textbooks and occasionally treating his sister to ice cream. He became obsessed with learning, not just at school, but everywhere. He'd read economics textbooks at the library after finishing homework, watch free online courses on a cracked secondhand tablet, and jot down business ideas in an old notebook. High school brought new challenges. Greenville High was underfunded, overcrowded, and barely functioning. But Daniel stood out. He was the first to raise his hand, the last to leave class, and the student teachers talked about in staff meetings. Some mocked him for trying so hard. Others ignored him. He didn't care. He knew what was at stake. To help at home, Daniel worked evenings and weekends stacking shelves at the local grocery store, mowing lawns, even cleaning windows. He used every opportunity to learn. He listened to financial podcasts while working. He carried flashcards in his pocket and studied during breaks. He built a schedule with time blocks for work, school, study, and rest. Discipline became his secret weapon. Despite his busy schedule, Daniel found time to give back. He volunteered to tutor younger students in math and science. He joined the debate team and learned to speak confidently, knowing that one day he would need those skills to pitch his ideas to investors. He took on leadership roles, organizing study groups, and community cleanups. Teachers began to notice. One even submitted his name for a local youth leadership award, which Daniel won in his junior year. He also kept a journal where he recorded every idea that came to him, from small business concepts like lawn care apps to nonprofit ventures focused on education access. He began selling hand-designed flashcards to other students for a few dollars each, eventually turning it into a small business that earned him enough to buy a refurbished laptop. Despite having no access to tutors or prep courses, Daniel aced his SATs. His college essay, titled "From Shadows to Sunrise," caught the attention of admission officers across the country. He wrote about his journey, his family, and the dreams he was chasing. He got accepted to 3 Ivy League schools with full scholarships, ultimately choosing Columbia University for its strong business program and location in New York City. The move was terrifying. He'd never even been on a plane. But he arrived with 2 suitcases, a secondhand laptop, and an unstoppable mindset. In college, he worked part-time, continued studying intensely, and built connections. He joined the Entrepreneurship Club, where he met mentors, attended workshops, and started building a vision, a financial literacy platform for low-income families. Daniel immersed himself in every opportunity. He attended networking events, cold emailed successful alumni for advice, and spent nights in the library researching financial behaviors among underserved communities. He interned at a fintech company in his sophomore year and saved almost every dollar from his stipend. He began drafting business models, prototyping tools, and collecting feedback from real families back in Greenville via Zoom calls. His startup, called Bright Ledger, began as a passion project. He coded it himself in the dorms, interviewed families about their financial struggles, and designed every feature to be simple, accessible, and free. By his senior year, Bright Ledger had 100,000 users. He pitched it to investors at a campus competition and won first place. That prize money turned into seed funding. After graduation, Daniel went all in. He lived frugally, poured every hour into growing the platform, and eventually expanded into mobile apps, community workshops, and school partnerships. He built a small but dedicated team, many of whom came from similar backgrounds. Within 5 years, Bright Ledger was acquired by a major fintech company for $12 million. Daniel became a millionaire at 27. But he didn't stop. With his wealth, he returned to Greenville. He renovated his old high school, built a community tech center, and started a scholarship fund for students from low-income backgrounds. He even hired his mother to run community outreach. "You always said education was the way out," he told her. "Now let's help others find the way too." Daniel also created a mentorship program where students from underserved communities could connect with professionals across various industries. He personally mentored high school students, giving talks on financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and the importance of grit. When COVID-19 disrupted schools and widened the education gap, Daniel responded quickly. He launched a free digital learning extension within Bright Ledger, offering short interactive lessons on budgeting, investing, and student loans. He partnered with nonprofits to distribute tablets and internet access to students in rural areas. Daniel also began investing in other minority-owned startups, using his wealth and influence to elevate underrepresented voices. He wrote a book, Grit Over Gold, which became a bestseller and was adopted into multiple school curricula. Despite fame and financial success, Daniel remained grounded. He still wore simple clothes, took public transit when visiting New York, and often spent weekends in Greenville talking to local youth. In interviews, he didn't talk about being a millionaire, he talked about resilience, discipline, and giving back. His journey from poverty to prosperity is a story not just of success, but of purpose. Daniel proved that success isn't about where you start, but about how you rise and who you bring with you. And every day, in homes like the one he grew up in, a new kid opens a library book, logs into Bright Ledger, and dreams a little bigger because someone just like them showed it was possible. This is a true story. The names and identifying details have been changed to protect the privacy of the individuals involved.